In this video, we're going to look at Promptly connections. When you're building AI applications or workflows, along with being able to connect your data, often you would want to interact with other services. So these could be via a web browser or APIs, which may need some form of authentication. Promptly connections is a secure way to capture and manage these credentials. Let's see how to use Promptly connections. To add a new connection or to modify your existing connections, go to the settings page, and on the settings page, you'll see all your connections listed in the connection section. Right now, I don't have any connections created here. So let's go ahead and create a connection by clicking on the plus connection button. So when we try to add a connection, we'll be presented with a form where we can give a name and description to the connection. And we can select the connection type that we are trying to add here. Depending on the connection type that we select, our configuration form will change. So let's take a look at all the connection options that are currently available. So we can add a connection for API key authentication, Apollo REST API keys, basic authentication, bearer authentication. We can also add Google OAuth keys or HubSpot OAuth keys. Along with all these things, we also support something called web login, which allows you to log into any website and automate tasks on those web pages. So this connection comes pretty handy when we are doing this robotic process automation. So whenever you are trying to automate scraping web content or even doing form filling on your behalf using AI, you would need this web login. So let's quickly explore the different connection types and the forms that we get, and then we'll look at web login here. So if you look at API key authentication, we are being asked to add API key and header key. Similarly, if we use something like basic authentication, just username, password, or bearer authentication, we'll need to paste the token and the prefix that we need to use along with the token based on who is providing the bearer authentication. Similarly, if we select Google login or HubSpot login, you will see a login with Google or login with HubSpot button. So when you click on this button, it will take you to the corresponding login page for that provider, and you'll be asked to authenticate or authorize promptly with your account. And once you finish your authentication there, you'll be brought back here and you'll see the token prefix and everything filled here, your auth token filled here. For this example, let's look at web login. So in order to capture your credentials for things like your LinkedIn login or your company's internal documentation login or things like that, you will use web login. Let me show you how it works. So when you want to add a connection, when you want to like capture your login credential for a specific website, you just fill the form, select web login, and select your starting URL. This could just be the page that you want to like log in into. So for this example, I'll try to like log in into linkedin.com. So my start URL is linkedin.com. When I click on test connection, um, the platform will give me a virtual web browser. So, and it opens the URL, the start URL that I've provided in the form. So here I can fill my actual login details and I can scroll down and then click on sign in. Once I'm able to successfully sign in, I can just click on the done button. So after we click the done button, the connection will get added. So because I did not successfully sign in, it doesn't work properly. But then if you're able to successfully log in there and click on done button, the connection will be green and you'll be able to use this connection in process. So now that we have this connection available, we should be able to use a template like, let's say, AI SDR, and we can, let's say I can like click on AI SDR. And if you look at this template, it explicitly asks you to add your LinkedIn connection. So in order to use templates like this, you would need to create a connection so that this template or this application can actually like browse or scrape specific web pages on your behalf. Similarly, if you are using applications that that are supposed to be doing form filling on your behalf, you may be needed to create web login connections and provide those connections in the applications.